You know what's interesting about this matchup is a lot of Chito's fights, including his last one over Rob Font, Dominick Cruz is the guy in the booth.
Yeah.
Dominick Cruz is the one calling this. So Dominick Cruz has done his homework tremendously on Chito. Yeah. He knows him in and out. And then when you have to think about this, once you fought, you go back and you watch your fight, you listen to the commentary. You have to think that he's listening to the commentary, how he was fighting, and how Dominick Cruz is perceiving his style of fighting. And still with all of that known, he says, Dominick's the guy that I want to fight.
You got to remember, too, this isn't just a business or just a sport. Chito knows exactly what he needs to do to get forward. Yeah. Let's just kind of cut all the crap here. He's seen a guy with a high ranking that's a legend that's going to be in the UFC Hall of Fame that's on a 2-fight win streak that he thinks he can beat because he's aging?
Yeah.
Come on, I'd call that guy out too if I was him.
All right. Well, let's get a little bit more information on this great main event. We're going to send it backstage into the catacombs with Megan Olivi with more on our main event. Megan?
That's right, in the dark crypts. Thank you so much, Karen. Well, I don't know if it's the SoCal sunshine or what, but things between Dominick Cruz and Marlon Vera have been somewhat amicable this week. They actually did a sit-down interview earlier this week for our UFC.com team, and contrary to what some people may think was going to happen, things were totally calm and professional between the two. Now, that's not to say that there won't be some heat on this face-off at weigh-ins. We don't know what that's going to look like, but one thing that we know for sure is both of these men in our main event have their eyes on the exact same prize, that bantamweight title. Dominick Cruz wants to return to the throne that he once owned, and Chito Vera wants to know what it feels like to be the king at 135 pounds. So there are certainly a lot of implications that come with this main event on Saturday. The winner will find themselves in the conversation of the title mix. There's a lot going on at 135 pounds, and they'll sort of take a big step forward there, and whoever doesn't get their hand raised is going to have to start climbing back. So although we haven't seen a ton of heat in their interactions this week, guys, I think it's safe to say we are going to see a full-on firefight in this main event.
All right. Thank you so much, Megan. I couldn't agree with you more. It is going to be a firefight for sure. Let's take a look at how these two stack up next to each other in terms of where they spend most of the time in position. Both of them do most of their work standing, 72% to 84 for Dom. Only 9% on top for Marlon, a little bit more for Dominick Cruz. But listen, Dominick spends absolutely 0.8. You almost couldn't spend any less time in bottom position. Alan, what do you make of the stats, and where do you expect this to play out?
Yeah, and I think those are great stats because it tells a bit of a story. You look at Dominick Cruz's 2 fights ago when he fought Casey Kinney. That was some rounds that were kind of close right there. What Dominick did is he switched gears in those second and third rounds. He went to that wrestling. Dominick Cruz, we know him as a wrestler, but he's almost underrated. I feel like he doesn't get the credit because Dominick Cruz has tremendous wrestling. You saw the numbers. He doesn't get taken down. He takes down everybody. He mixes it in beautifully with that figure 8 style, switching stances and is striking seamlessly. So he's so good at that. And don't be surprised Saturday night, if the going gets tough, that he starts shooting some takedowns against Chito Vera.
See, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. Honestly, I think that Chito's percentages are over a much shorter amount of time than Dominick Cruz's. If you look at the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years of Dominick Cruz's career, I think that those percentages would drastically shrink over that amount of time. I mean, those numbers are over 10 or so years, combined. So I do think that Dominick Cruz is going to have to wrestle if he wants to be successful. If he wants to slow Chito down, he's going to have to do that. The numbers would show that Chito is susceptible to takedowns at times, but he's got a fantastic grappling game. You're not too much safer down there than you are on your feet. So I think those numbers are definitely applicable, but I do think that maybe the time that those percentages were taken is you need to take into account.
But you don't think that Dom wants to take him down? Is that what your point?
I think he needs to. I'm not sure if he still has the ability that he had maybe 5 or so years ago.
Because the stats are spread out over a number of years.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.